Hi everyone, this is Big Boss Calvin 83. First off, I want to say happy 4th of July. Happy so-called Independence Day. Or should I say happy Dependence Day, because technically America, this country, so-called country, which is known as a corporation, is not really a country, it's a corporation. And we don't have no independence, really, not anymore, because China owns us, and not only that, you have other corporations and bankers and the rich, wealthy elites who run and own this country in particular, and other countries as well. But America is the so-called superpower, just since it's the so-called superpower, they run the elites and the corporations and bankers. They run this nation, this so-called fake-ass nation. So we're dependent on them, even though we're so-called free when we're not. But that's not really what I'm going to discuss. But I'm just, this is what I feel about the 4th of July. It's bullshit. But I want to talk about today, since we got Hillary Clinton running for president, and you got a bunch of other people, so-called politicians running for office. But I want to focus on, a woman running for president, and people talk about how it's going to make the world a better place, which is fucking bullshit. No matter who runs for office, rather be a Republican or a Democrat, America is still going to be fucked up, and this country still going to be fucking collapsed. Because the president the so-called president, whoever becomes president, is going to be a fucking puppet. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to cater to you as the people. They're not. They're going to cater to the bankers, the elites, and corporations. Politicians are bought and paid for. They're puppets. So whoever you vote for, your vote doesn't fucking count. Your voting doesn't mean anything. Look, I'm not telling you who not to vote or anything like that. I'm telling you, y'all need to look this shit up. Y'all need to research voting, because voting is, the whole system is rigged. The whole system is designed to fail us. That's why we're going through what we're going through. That's why we got the problems we have in this nation, and even worldwide. Y'all want to still say the New World Order is a conspiracy? Well, you look around you and look what's happened to you. We don't live in a civilized society. We treat people like shit. We fight in meaningless wars that don't benefit us. It just benefits the fucking people who are the fucking wealthy. You know what I'm saying? So, all I'm telling you guys who are watching this is just to research. Do your research and question things. Ask questions. Stop depending on another person to take care of you. It's time for you as a man or a woman to grow the fuck up and start taking care of yourself. And start taking care and helping other people as well in the process, instead of being selfish as a fucking prick. Just all about myself, but don't give a damn about nobody else. You have to take care of yourself first. That's important. But at the same time, you have to help somebody along the way. I've been thinking about this. Women talking about, if we have a woman president, it'll be the greatest thing, it'll be the greatest accomplishment. You know what? In my opinion, you could say in history and be nice, but overall for the good of the nation, it's not gonna mean anything, because Hillary is a fucking puppet. Women want to talk about the fucking oppressed. But I'm trying to figure out which woman you're talking about. When they say women, when it comes to ethnicity, who do you think they're talking about? You know, we can say gays, and we can even say men's rights in America. What I'm talking about in America, particularly, when they talk about women, gays, are they and what ethnicity do you think they're fucking talking about? Are they talking about all ethnicities, or they're talking about one in particular? And to hate to break it to you, when they say women, they ain't talking about so-called black women. They're not talking about Hispanic women. They ain't talking about Asian women, East Indian women, Arab women, and women of other ethnicities. They're not talking about y'all. You know, they're talking about the Caucasian woman. And like I said before, women's rights, so-called women's rights, it should be called white women's rights. Or the correct term is Caucasian women's rights. So-called gay rights are for Caucasians. Even men's rights are for Caucasian rights. It's not for people of color. It's not for other ethnicities. It's because because Caucasian people don't give a fuck about nobody else but their own damn self. And that's the fucking truth. I don't give a fuck if you get offended, even if a person who's of Caucasian descent gets offended. You know what I'm speaking is true and factual. Most of the time, it may not apply to you, so don't reply. But most of the time, Caucasian people only give a damn about their own feelings, about their own history, and their own selves. They don't care about nobody else. They don't care about ethnic people. They don't care about other ethnic peoples, and they damn sure don't care about black people. Okay, they don't. So-called black people, in correct terms, they don't give a shit about Nubian people. So to you so-called black women who are supporting Hillary, and y'all think this is going to be the greatest thing, it's going to make the world a better place, you're fucking delusional. You're fucking dreaming, because Caucasian women do not give a damn about you. Okay? Feminism, they use the so-called black woman as a tool to get to the Caucasian woman to get whatever the fuck she wants. Okay? You know, I gotta clarify. The National Organization of Women and all these other women's groups and feminists, the majority of them are the so-called dominant Caucasian women. They only care about their own issues, but they don't care about nobody else's who don't look like them. Okay? If they don't have pale skin and they ain't light skin like them, blonde hair, blue eye, brunette, redhead, green eyes, whatever the fuck. If you don't look like them, they don't give a damn about you. Hillary's no different. You know, Hillary is not more than a closet racist, just like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton don't give a damn about so-called black people, and so does Hillary. Doesn't give a damn about so-called black men, and she damn sure don't give a damn. Yeah, she don't give a damn about so-called black men. We already know. I think most brothers got that figured out. But so-called black women, y'all can forget it, because y'all, for some odd reason, I don't know why in the fuck that y'all back in the late 60s, early 70s marched with Caucasian women. They only used y'all to get what the fuck they want. Because like I said, because the black man didn't tell you couldn't fucking vote. And remember that it was not only that women couldn't vote, men could not vote either. The common man and the common woman could not vote. The only people who could vote back at that time were the landowners and the wealthy. Those were the people who could vote. And you know damn sure that so-called black people could not vote, period. Which I'm going to explain. The so-called black man didn't tell you couldn't work. Actually, y'all were working in these bitches, these Caucasian bitches were fucking laying up in the sun, eating bonbons, talking about feelings and all this other emotional bullshit what women do, eating bonbons, and they were out shopping and doing their thing while you were in the house cleaning and slaving and breastfeeding and raising their own fucking children. Back in the slavery days, Jim Crow days, okay? So whatever issue the Caucasian woman had with the Caucasian man, so-called black women and a few other women of color should have stayed the fuck out of it. But particularly, I'm talking to so-called black women. Y'all should have stayed the fuck out of the feminist movement. I should say, you should have. First of all, when it comes to civil rights, we shouldn't have marched for the fucking civil rights movement. It should have been so-called, I don't like to say the term, but black rights or Nubian rights, rights of people of color. The so-called black women should have stayed and stood by the so-called black man and took care of the family and build together. And that's how you could have defeated Caucasian supremacy. And then, now when that practice group economics and know your history and control your dollar, but the problem is that particular generation did not do that. And that's why we as the people are suffering because of it. But back to the subject, I didn't want to get too far off course. To you so-called black American women, Hillary Clinton does not represent you, and she don't give a shit about you. And most Caucasian women who are fucking feminists don't give a shit about other women of color. They only give a damn about their own issues. And feminism is not more than Caucasian people rights. Gay people, same with you so-called black gays. Same thing. So-called gay people rights is not, as far as being so-called gay, the only reason why they're promoting homosexuality is for fucking population control. So-called gay people want a fucking privilege, just like women. Okay? That's all it is. You know, if whoever you want to sleep with, whatever your sexual preference is, you can keep that to your fucking self. If the person consents to it, I don't have a problem with it. But when you try to say this is the preference and everybody should like it, you're wrong. Because I have a preference, because I told y'all, I have a preference. I like feet, and there's other men who like breasts, and there's other men who like ass. But we don't get a privilege for that. And, whatever your preference is, it is what it is. But when y'all want when a person wants special rights and special treatment, that's fucking ridiculous. Like I said before, homosexuality is not natural. It's a fucking mental illness. Same with being a transgender. That's a mental illness. That's a supreme mental illness. Trying to change your sex. You cannot change your sex. If you're born a male, you are a male. And if you were born a female, you are a female. You as a man cannot change yourself into a fucking woman. You as a woman cannot change yourself into a fucking man. So that's a deep mental illness. Not only that, they put a lot of shit in the food and that causes you to fuck up your and poison in the water and the air, and that's fucking up the human hormonal system. But back to what I'm saying, the National Organization of Women and other women's groups and the main group, feminists, don't give a damn about Caucasian women. There should be just Caucasian women rights. Or you can say white women, but I prefer to say Caucasian because white is not a race. Okay? There's nothing pure, there's nothing angelic, there's nothing celestial about Caucasians. Okay? If you look up your history, you understand what I'm talking about, but most people don't want to look up their fucking history. They're not godly and they're not holy people. And nobody is in that case, okay? So to call yourself white, this means pure, celestial, angelic, sweet, everything positive, but that's not the case. When you call yourself black, you're calling yourself everything negative. So that's why I try to avoid using these terms. But like I said, to all you women out there saying, oh, if we get a woman president, the world will be a better place, you're fucking insane. Because Hillary don't got no damn power. She's still being run by a fucking man. A woman cannot a woman cannot run shit correctly. I don't care if you find that sexy, that's the truth. You know, you say that women are oppressed and they don't have rights, and there's no support. That's fucking bullshit. Let me say this again, and I said it before. Women, you have a fucking privilege. You have more rights than men. You can lie on a man and fucking get away with it. You can falsely accuse a man of rape, and you can get away with it. You can falsely accuse a man of domestic abuse. You can say he molested your child when he fucking did it, and they'll fucking believe you. The court system is on the woman's side. The government is on the woman's side. The corporations are on the woman's side. You women have so much damn power, y'all don't even fucking realize it. You are blind to your own fucking privilege and fucking power. Men, you see more men fucking homeless than women. Women women have shelters, you know, and they got, if a woman's abused, come from an abusive relationship especially, there's fucking shelters for that. And these programs for women that help them get on their feet and live and survive in society. Men don't have those luxuries. Men don't have safety nets. Women, when you file for divorce, and when it comes to no-fault divorce, y'all likely get alimony. Chances are, y'all get, and even if you break up with a man, you break up with a man, you still can get compensated. That is female privilege. Okay. Y'all get custody of the kids, and y'all get child support like that. And if a man doesn't fucking pay child support, guess what? He goes to jail. Women, if y'all don't pay your child support, they don't come after y'all like that. They're starting to come after y'all now, but not at the same conviction and not with the same aggression like they come after men. They punish men, get harsher jail sentences than fucking women. Okay. Women get slapped whenever a woman commits the exact same crime as a man commits a crime, or is accused of a crime. A woman gets slapped on the wrist. If a woman's accused of the crime, everybody got to get all the facts. If a woman accuses a man of a crime, if a man's accused of a crime, it's fucking believed. A man got to prove that he's guilty until proven innocent. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Men, there's no support for men. There's no social programs for men. You got more women in fucking college than fucking men. You got more resources geared towards women than fucking men. Okay, I've done the research, and I'm pretty sure, and I checked with other people who've done the research for me too. So you women talk about you don't have no rights and you're fucking oppressed. That's fucking ridiculous. In America, you women are not fucking oppressed. Y'all fucking privileged. Y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want and get away with it and blame somebody else. Women can blame men and other people for the fucking problems and their fucking failures. Men can't in society. Men are heavily taxed more. Like I said, you know, men have to pay y'all. Actually work our asses, work the most dangerous jobs. Don't get no fucking, if we have a kid, we don't get a newborn baby, we don't get maternity leave like that. Women, y'all do. That is female privilege. You know what I'm saying? Women are not forced to be drafted into the fucking military to fight in a war that doesn't benefit them. Men are forced to fight in a war that doesn't benefit us. And if we don't do it, our manhood is questioned, our patriotism is questioned, which is fucking bullshit. You got women in the military, but who don't have to fight in a fucking war. Men who join the military, you got to go to war. You got to fight in the war and sacrifice your life. Women don't have to do that, but they get more benefits than men. Okay? Men commit more suicide than women. Okay? Because of stress and pain and suffering and abuse by society. And men go for more discrimination than fucking women. Men pay more for insurance, auto and health, and etc. Women, y'all pay less. Okay? So, you talk about, well, women don't get the same amount of pay. That's bullshit. Men and women get the same equal amount of pay, but the difference is women have to choose different work fields that pay less money. Women work fewer hours than men. More women work part-time than men. Men are forced to work full-time. If a man works part-time, he ain't gonna fucking survive. And if he got a family, he can't take care of his family on a part-time just over broke. You understand what I'm telling you? So the reason why the pay gap is there's a pay gap is because of the work choices. Men work in the most dangerous jobs. Men work more hours. Women work less hours. Women work part-time hours. And they work certain jobs that require less work. Okay? Men, we work the most dangerous jobs and sacrifice our fucking lives to feed our families. Well, we don't get no fucking credit for that. That's why I say women, you have more power. And when it comes to dating, y'all women have all the choice and y'all have all the say-so. Y'all the choosers. A man can't do anything without your fucking consent. And if he does something without your consent, he's gonna go to jail. You call the cops on him and you get in a fight, and you call the cops on him, they're gonna take your side. He's gonna go to jail. How many days have you women paid for? Rarely. You know, so y'all get public assistance, y'all get housing, okay? So y'all women y'all got a lot of fucking benefits. Y'all have benefited from the inventions and the creations and the discoveries of men. Men who have built skyscrapers, built buildings and houses, and built roads and built cars, and made other advances of technologies, and made how should I say this? Made discoveries in medicine, made cures for diseases. Okay, so you women have benefited off of that, but y'all show no fucking appreciation. Like I said, you can say, like I said before, y'all women say if a woman was president of the United States, y'all women would still be bitching and complaining about you're still oppressed and you're still inferior, you're still not treated fair. And the bitching, it's really shocking. The bitching and complaining is coming from Caucasian women. Women of color, I see y'all complaints and I can understand, but I'm not the one who men of color are not in the position of power to fucking oppress y'all. Okay, the so-called black man is not in no position of power to oppress a woman, period. Okay, the Caucasian man is though. But nobody talks about that. And even then, you got Caucasian men who are fed up with American Caucasian women because they have lost their goddamn minds with this feminist bullshit. Women, regardless of their ethnicity, have lost their damn minds with fucking feminism. They have drank the fucking Kool-Aid. Y'all claim y'all smarter than men. Y'all claim you're more mature than men. Y'all claim you're more organized than men. But the track record shows that is a fucking lying propaganda. You're better than men at this, but we don't see the fucking results. Y'all fail at everything. Y'all fail at raising your fucking kids. That's which is sad. You try to do the same thing as a man, but you fail at it because you have no patience and you have no damn discipline. Only a few of you do. Okay? Y'all say whatever a man can do, I can do better, but I'm still waiting for y'all to do better. If you get hurt or you come from adversity, y'all quit. So women, y'all just need a hot glass to shut the fuck up. Okay, let's go with that. Let's say Hillary Clinton is going to win the presidency. And she probably might become the first woman president. Guess what? Barack Obama became the so-called first black president, and what the fuck has he done for black people? Nothing. He has no damn power. He's a fucking puppet. He lets people who are not so-called non-black disrespect him. He lets women disrespect him. He caters to women, which is Caucasian women mostly. He caters to gays, caters to other people, other ethnic groups. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm sweating, I'm tripping over my words. He caters to everybody else but the so-called black people. Barack is a handkerchief head, as far as I'm concerned. Barack is a puppet. So if you have Hillary as a fucking president of the United States of America, guess what? You women will still be complaining. You will still be complaining about oppression. You will still be complaining about how life is unfair and how you are disadvantaged because you're a woman. Because y'all like to play the fucking victim. You like to play victim to. You like to play victim to the top, and you like to fuck your way to the top. Okay. The only reason why y'all get to jobs, and I forgot to say this in part of my arguments, most women have the jobs that they have, and you got more women in the workforce than men. It's not because they're fucking qualified. It's because of fucking affirmative action. Affirmative action. And do you know which race of woman who has benefited from affirmative action is the Caucasian woman? That particular woman of that ethnic group has benefited from affirmative action. Us black people have not benefited from affirmative action. Okay? I'm trying to, you know, every other ethnicity has benefited from affirmative action, but the Caucasian woman has benefited from affirmative action more than anybody else. That's a prime example of also white privilege. At the end of the day, if Hillary Clinton is president, she's not going to give a fuck about so-called black women. She's not going to give a fuck about y'all. She's not going to give a fuck about us. She don't give a damn, and she damn sure ain't going to give a fuck about men. Mainly men. The common man, she ain't going to give a shit about. She's going to treat us like shit. I already know that. But she's going to be a fucking puppet. She ain't going to do anything for you women. Especially you so-called black women. She ain't going to do nothing for you. She ain't going to cater to you because this bitch, when that incident happened out in McKinney, Texas, where that racist cop body slammed that 14-year-old, now 15-year-old so-called black girl to the ground, Hillary Clinton didn't say nothing about that. You had another incident, and I think it was out in Ohio, where the cops terrorized a group of black women. Hillary Clinton didn't say nothing about that. Didn't do anything about that. And some of y'all want to defend her and say, well, it was because, I mean, those who are of color, I'm talking to in particular, would say, well, she might lose her election. She may lose the vote. That's bullshit. Stop making excuses for people. I'm tired of it. Especially women. Y'all make too many excuses for bad people. Particularly so-called black women, y'all make too many excuses for people who do you wrong. Hillary don't give a damn about y'all. Whatever happens to a so-called black woman, these feminists like Gloria Allred and these other women's groups, the National Organization of Women, do not come into your fucking defense. They do not help you out. They do not support you. They do not help you out. They mislead you and deceive you. When they brought the Welfare Act, they're telling you that you can get public assistance, but the man cannot be there, which is the fucking dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. But Caucasian people and everybody else who have families, the man can be there and they can get public assistance. Look, all I'm saying, having a woman president is not going to change the world. Well, and some of y'all will say, well, there's never been a woman president. That's not true. Y'all don't need, to you women out there, y'all don't need feminism. Feminism is designed for division. This is designed for this fucking gender war. It's designed to break up the fucking family unit. So where the state, the system, the government will raise your children and indoctrinate your children to be fucking slaves. Feminism is nothing more than it's part of the New World Order agenda. It's to break up the family unit, it's to break up men, and they promote homosexuality is for population fucking control. That's why there's female privilege, and that's why there's a gay privilege. All y'all gotta do is connect the dots. It's so easy. But y'all too stupid to do that. There's other countries that had women presidents. and some have done well, but most of the time when there's a woman who's in a position of power, the country fails. The country becomes weak and vulnerable. Matriarchies do not fucking work. When will we learn that? All y'all gotta do is look at the so-called black community in America. Look at them. The so-called black community is a fucking matriarchy. And look at the state of the black community. We're fucked up as a fucking people. We are conquered. We are oppressed. We are abused. We are mistreated. And we got too many bitch-ass men in the fucking black community. Too many bitch-ass males, excuse me, in the black community. Feminism only breeds matriarchies. Matriarchies only breed weak-ass males. Men are weakened and feminized. They are feminizing men on purpose and having you women take masculine roles so the powers that be can take control of the people. That's why they're doing it. They want control. One world government. Population control. That's what they're doing it for. That's why they're doing it. Having a woman president, having a woman being in a position of power is not going to do shit for us. If women were actually in a position of power, guess what? If women rule the world, guess what? We have more violence, more wars, because women create their own fucking cures, because women treat other people like shit. Women who, if they don't like a person, women don't think for themselves. They will dislike you, especially if you're a man, because they heard something. They heard something negative. Everybody has negative qualities and has a negative past, or they heard something negative which was a lie, but they didn't look into it. But women are so gullible, they'll believe anything you tell them. Oh, if they say something negative about you, a woman will fucking believe it. You cater to a woman's emotions, she'll fucking believe anything you tell her. You just tell her what she wants to hear. You don't tell her facts. You don't tell her the truth. You don't use logic. No, you just give her propaganda. You tell her how great she is, how smart she is, how more mature she is, and she'll drink the fucking Kool-Aid. Women are easily deceived and misled and taken advantage of. And that's what will happen if we have a woman president. Like I say, if women were in power and rule the world, we'd have more violence, more chaos, because women treat other people like shit. If they perceive them to be better than. If a woman thinks she's better than you, she'll treat you like shit. If a woman hears something negative about you, she will treat you like shit, and she will treat you less than human, just because she can, and she thinks she can get away with it. Women are taught. Now, and there's some truth, and some of it's natural, but women are taught to be hypergamous. If a woman's in a position of power, she's going to seek out someone who's more powerful than she is. That's why a woman being in a position of power doesn't work. Women do not have leadership qualities. Women are too emotional. They're taught to be emotional. They're not taught to be logical and factual. They judge everything based on how they fucking feel. Men cannot get away with doing that shit. Women cry and bitch about how much pain they have and how much they talk about. They got a strong tolerance of pain, but if you put them in a man's role, they cannot do it. They will quit. Because men take the abuse of society. Men sacrifice their lives. Women are not willing to do that. Women are not designed to save people like men are. Men only protect themselves. Women don't even protect their own children. They don't give a damn. They give a damn about women are selfish. Women are too selfish, too materialistic, and they got a false sense of fucking entitlement issues. That's why a woman president will not work. If women actually rule the world, and it was up to women, we'd still be living in mud huts. We would not make any discoveries. We would not make any progress. We would not build any roads. Women don't build shit. Women benefit off of what men built. A woman will not make any discoveries. A woman will not make any discoveries, and she will not make any inventions, and she will not make any advanced cures in diseases, or make any advances in science. You follow what I'm saying? So I tell you, if a woman's in power, and when a woman gets power, she gets easily corrupted. She gets selfish, self-serving. She abuses her power. And don't give me that argument, well, men abuse their power too. I'm not saying men don't, but men check other men. Men will fight another man who's in a position of power. A woman will not challenge another person who they perceive and see to be in a position of power. They will conform and do whatever they're told. A woman will never check another woman. They will side with the other woman because of her status and shit, and say you are wrong. Women stick together. Women do not check other women like men check other men. Women conform. Women groupthink. Men critically think. Women do not have critical thinking skills. I'm not saying women are inferior or anything. I'm just telling you how you got to acknowledge some of these gender differences. Yes, gender roles are been created by man, but and we're taught and we've been raised different to think different instead of being raised equal. And guess what? And the worst thing about a woman being in a position of power, when things go bad, she takes no accountability and no personal responsibility. Women are just selfish and don't give a damn about nobody else but their fucking selves. And if things get too hard and too stressful, what does a woman do? She quits. She just runs away from the problem. She runs to another man to help her. And if things fail, she'll just blame a man. She'll blame somebody else. And women do not have critical thinking skills, and they do not use logic and common sense to solve problems. If a woman gets offended on something, she gets mean, spiteful, and vindictive. Women are just evil because they've been brought up to be evil by society. And that's why you cannot have a woman president. You can't have somebody who's selfish. You cannot have somebody who's unaccountable. You cannot have somebody who doesn't have common sense and critical thinking skills. You cannot have someone who lacks intelligence. And unfortunately, a lot of women lack the intelligence and lack the knowledge. Women cannot teach knowledge like a man can teach knowledge. And you look at the way of a woman. You look at single mothers and how they raise their kids. 9 times out of 10, their kids are fucked up. Their kids do not amount to anything. I'm just stating facts here. You don't have to agree with me, but at least look at the truth and look and see for yourself and acknowledge what I'm telling you is true. Bottom line is, whoever wins the president, whoever becomes president. Also, let me say this. The reason why, most women do not want to be, if you ask a woman, she'll like the position of power, but when it comes to responsibility, she would not want to take that position of power. If you ask a woman to take a role where this requires a lot of responsibility and discipline, a woman will say no. Because I've been on the job. Women most of the time work in the background. Most women do not want to do something that's physically demanding and stressful, and where it requires a lot of time and focus. And not only that, when it comes to sacrificing for the betterment of the people other than herself, most of the time women do not do that. They only think about themselves. They don't care about other people. And that's why you can't have a woman in a position of power, because they're not logical, they're too emotional, too sensitive, and when it comes to adversity, women cannot handle it. Okay? That's why a woman being in a position of power won't cut it. Whoever becomes president, regardless, whether it be a man or a woman, they're still puppets, okay? Because they are run by corporations. Politicians are bought and paid for by corporations and the elite. Our vote doesn't count. Our vote doesn't mean anything. Voting is pointless. The problem is, and the reason why that is because we as the people have let these corporations, we have let the government rule us. We have sacrificed our freedoms and given up our freedoms for safety. When you give up your freedoms for safety, excuse me, when you give up your freedoms for safety, you don't deserve neither one. Because it's your responsibility as an individual to protect yourself, keep yourself safe. It's your responsibility to take care of your fucking self. That's your responsibility right there. Bottom line, the government doesn't give a damn about the people. They're only going to listen to the fucking bankers and the fucking wealthy elites like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. People who got billions of dollars. Not rich, wealthy. I'm talking about supreme wealth here. You know, the only way do you want to know how we're going to save the world? People start being accountable. Start controlling your dollar. Stop letting other people rule you. Stop being a fucking slave and stop being cooperative on every goddamn thing. We the people have the power. We the people voted these motherfuckers to be in the position of power. We gave them the position of power here. We got to take our power back. It starts with controlling our dollar. It starts by holding these people accountable. People at the top that we put at the top, we got to hold them accountable. If they do not do what they're supposed to be doing, we got to vote them out. We got to call them out on it. We got to boycott. That's what gets things done. Stop letting other people take care of you. Grow the fuck up and take care of yourself. And that's all I gotta say. I'm out. Peace.